Good morning. My name's Luke Lindholm, and I was lucky enough to be a part of another wonderful team that visited La Romana this year. It was truly an awesome group, and I hope some of you will be able to join the team next year. My experience in the Dominican was a blast yet again. Although it was easy for me to decide to return for a second trip, when it was getting closer and closer to our departure date, I kept asking myself, why am I going and why should I go? It's a question that I'm sure many of you have thought about before, and I couldn't get it out of my head. The question lingered with me as we arrived in the Dominican and got ready for our first day visiting the Pates. When we arrived, there was a usual theme to the start: chaos. However, we figured it out and set the medical clinic up, and people started coming in. I worked on recording vital signs of the patients before they saw our doctors, and as soon as we started talking with the people and taking their vital signs, my question was answered. Everyone was so grateful for what we were doing. They would ask questions about our medical equipment, about what we were measuring, and whether their number was good or bad. However, one old lady struck me the most. After recording a blood pressure that was surprisingly perfect, I told her that she had very good blood pressure and to stay healthy. She had the biggest smile on her face and gave me a hug and thanked me for everything we do. That's why I returned to La Romana and why I plan on returning year after year. What we do matters, and the people in La Romana exemplify this by their constant gratitude, their continued interest in health education, and their never-ending positive attitudes. There can be a million reasons not to do something, but if you can find one reason to do it, grab that reason and see where it takes you. Thank you.
Why go on a missions trip to La Romana? A couple months ago, I had no idea how to answer these questions. My only understanding of missionary work came from reading the bulletin boards in the parish hall or watching the slideshows of their trips. I've been on a missions trip before with the church, but it didn't move my spirit like La Romana did. Nothing could have prepared me for a week on a mission in La Romana. The long-lasting effects of what happened there are still strongly impacting me till this day. The first few days on the mission were challenging for me. I spent a lot of time with the kids, making beaded bracelets, shakers with rocks, and even the simplest of games like duck, duck, goose, or to them, cat, cat, dog. It was extremely difficult for me to think of how the tiniest act, like us bringing down string and beads, made them so happy and thankful. It was like they had never seen anything like it before, and watching their faces light up gave me more knowledge as to why I came down here in the first place. In the beginning, I often questioned why I was even on this missions trip. But the more I worked with the community, I began to feel something unique to anything I had ever experienced before. I started to understand what my real mission was on this trip. And while my mission group was there to help, being around those people seemed like the gift to us. Every interaction with the people there and the love and kindness given to us by their community impacted me in a way that's really hard to describe. These people who had very little to their own name opened up their hearts and their homes to us. They were so thankful for the work we were doing and always gave the most positive outlook and expressions despite the hardships in which they lived. My most unforgettable experience came on March 6th. I met a little girl at about the age of 5 or 6, and if I had to guess, sadly, I never learned her name, but that was okay, because I found out that I didn't need to learn her name to learn her heart. She was quiet and shy, and at first she didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak any Spanish. I learned quickly, though, that the language barrier didn't restrict me from loving her. Her hair was black, she was wearing it in a bun with a pink bow that covered her forehead, and her smile that showed her tiny little teeth was a picture that became my favorite sight to see. She would follow me around and giggle at everything I did and held onto my leg until it was time for me to go. She turned into such a bundle of joy that has changed me forever because she showed me compassion without even knowing it. If I could pass along any encouraging words of advice for people asking why to go on a missions trip, I would give a few different answers. It's truly an opportunity to grow and better understand your own faith while helping others. And not only that, but you will be amazed by how incredible other people really are, whether it be through their love, strength, or hope, despite their difficult circumstances. I left for the Dominican as a 19-year-old girl with really no worries in the world, and I returned home with a new outlook on life and a renewed sense of purpose and meaning. The experience not only shaped the type of person I want to become moving forward, but also helped me figure out why our church does what we do. To this day, even though we've only been home for 3 weeks, when I'm feeling frustrated by my first world problems, I can put things in perspective by thinking about what goes on over there and all the children and adults I met along the way. I'm sad to say that I haven't gone in the past, but I'm happy I went and will continue to go in the future. We live on the same planet, but it's a different world down there, so make it count.
Days for Girls is an incredible program to be a part of and continues to be a significant contribution to our medical mission in La Romana. I was excited to be a part of it last year when it was first introduced, and we helped teach girls ages 10 and 11 up to young women 19 and 20 about reproductive health or sex education. I'd actually taught human reproduction as a middle school teacher back in the day, and so I felt I was truly making a contribution to this effort. It was a little awkward speaking to the girls in English, having every line translated along the way into Spanish or Creole. But it was important to me that the girls learned they had choices in how to take care of their bodies. This year, the organization and implementation of the program was seamlessly easy thanks to all the efforts of Renee Bruder over there, and others. The lessons were led by a dynamic and powerful young woman named Araceli. I was so fortunate to help her command the attention of the girls, get them to listen and ask questions, and participate fully. You see, they need to know not just about what menstrual cycles are and what they're for, but more importantly, how much power they have over their own bodies and their own reproductive health. We gave them the Days for Girls kits, each kit containing beautiful and colorful washable pads to keep them from missing out on at least a quarter of their education because they had previously stayed home during the 1 week every month. Education is power. We instructed them on how to wash their hands, and perhaps more importantly, when to wash their hands to avoid becoming sick while living in unsanitary conditions. Good health is power. We also taught methods of self-defense. In other words, ways to fend off sexual assault and how to recognize sex trafficking schemes. Sadly, a young girl had already experienced men trying to coerce her to go for that incredible opportunity to make money and help her family. You know, knowledge is power. In one of the groups, there was a quiet, sweet 15-year-old holding a 3 to 6 month old baby, her baby. She must have been 13 or 14 years old when she became pregnant. We can all imagine what happened to her. That was heartbreaking. And when I saw her, I was thinking that we were too late. But then there was this 10-year-old girl who had just gotten her period a month or two before, sitting right next to the baby. I could see fear in her eyes at first, but the more we talked, the more she nodded. And I could tell she was beginning to feel she had power. I can still see her relief and then her renewed confidence and sense her beginning to believe that she's the master of her fate. Days for Girls for me is about empowerment, girl power. And I hope to continue to be part of that effort in the future. Thank you.
Well, despite a rocky start to our mission this year with a canceled flight, yet again, a super comfortable night stay in Logan Airport, and then a surprise bus ride down to New York City to get our new flight, the team pulled together to accomplish our goals, giving aid, care, and hope to a community that is in dire need of all three. Our primary focuses this year were medical clinics, Days for Girls, and construction. Our medical teams travel to the most remote sugarcane villages and provide medical exams, dental care, eye care, glasses distribution, pharmacy services, food distribution, clothing, and even tennis and baseballs being handed out. We served about 600 people in these clinics in 5 different bâtés. As you heard in the children's talk, these medical clinics are literally life-saving efforts by this amazing team. The medical clinics also include our Bate Bible School program and the Days for Girls program. Both of these are very important to the youth and the young women of the Bates. As you just heard, Days for Girls is a vital program that holds the power to change the lives of young women, allow them to go to school and get jobs, and to really turn the world around. Bate Bible School is a program that shows that we love and care for these children as beloved children of God. The games and crafts and our present uplift them, our presence, uplift them for much more than a single day and in each village that we visit. Our construction efforts were split between building a home in Bate La Papita and working to complete the Good Samaritan Hospital. In La Papita, our team poured the entire foundation and began the walls that will be a solid two-family home that you all helped us purchase with your generous donations. Construction at the Good Samaritan Hospital continued in the future recovery rooms on the 4th floor, where there will be 4th floor operating rooms also in the future. We worked on electrical, stucco, sheetrock, framing, and drop ceilings. The mission just keeps getting more and more powerful as it evolves into new ways that we can help. And as we see many of the improvements in the area, the results of all of our past efforts, it keeps us excited. This team of volunteers was absolutely amazing. You see us all in our green today around. They were organized, very quick to volunteer, and they worked all day and into the night most every day. They were always truly present as a team and as caregivers and workers. It's unbelievable to me how talented and hardworking and fun this team truly is. I would like to conclude with a huge thank you to the people of this congregation and our greater community for supporting us wholeheartedly in our very successful mission this year. Your support is what gets us through the sleepless nights in the dorms and the airport. Your strength also allows us to dig deep and see those last patients of the day and carry that last concrete block. We carry you with us in our hearts and in our hands, and together we all are the ones bringing hope and love to a region and to a people that seem to have no reason for hope. But it's their faith and strength and smiling faces and hugs and sheer gratitude that give us the desire to love to continue this vital ministry. Thank you all for being such an important part of our La Romana mission team. I hope you all get the same great feeling of accomplishment as we do when you hear about this trip and when you see our slideshow today at coffee hour after the service. Thanks.